All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. As today we're doing just a little modification on the Mustang. I went ahead and just decided that I was going to remove the ST suspension sway bar, rear sway bar. The front still has the factory one, and the reason of that being is just the way the oil filter sits. I had the front ST suspension sway bar on there a couple years ago, and it was like crushing the filter almost, so of course you don't want that to happen. So I went ahead and just bought the Eibach rear one maybe a month or so ago, and just comparing these, the honest reason that I went with this is because when this is face down going over like speed bumps and stuff, these would scrape a little bit. And even trying to go through like a car wash, not that I would honestly take this car through a car wash at this point anymore, just worried about, I'd rather hand wash it obviously, but for those issues the Eibach one eliminates that. And I was honestly just curious to try the Eibach. I probably won't see much of a noticeable difference, but we're going to go ahead and install this. To remove this one, and just like your factory, I think it's the ABS line sits on this side as it does the right side as well, and then just 2 bolts through the control arms, and it's just 4 bolts and you take them out. So there you go. So we're gonna put this Eibach in. I'll show that, and then we'll give it a little test run and see what happens. All right guys, so I just finished putting the sway bar in. As you can see, that side is sunny and it is raining over here. So I'm already dirty anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I still leave the car running. But there you go. You can see the rear sway bar right there is the Eibach one now. The only issue I had with it was the powder coating on the passenger side. I had to clean those holes a little bit for the hardware that they provided. On the driver's side, the bolts just slid through no problem, and then you have a nut on the end that you have to tighten down. The passenger side did not want to do that whatsoever, so I had to clean them up a little bit. Still not all the way through, but we're swapping out the upper and rear control arms anyways. I just wanted to swap out that ST suspension bar. In the case of basically the first part of the video I showed you, if I lower the car, it's going to be a problem with those fins that stick out or stick down a little too much. So the Eibach one didn't have that issue, except for the powder coating issue. So I'm sure it'll be cleaned up more. I have it tight on there, so that's not an issue. It's just the bolts should slide through no issue like the driver's side, but I guess not everything goes smooth, especially for this car. So we're just doing a little walk around, basically, just waiting for it to kind of settle down with the rain. I'll drive it, I'll show you guys, I'll do like a little point of view for when the camera's facing the windshield, and you get to see the cool cowl hood. So I don't know why I never went with a cowl hood anyways. Like I've said in previous videos, I've owned everything from like an OEM Terminator hood, carbon fiber Terminator VIS racing hood, GT hood, various Cobra hoods, and just all kinds of stuff like that. Never the cowl hood. Once it's painted, I think it's gonna look really good, minus the gray 8 pillars. If this car was all painted all at once, it would look a lot better like it used to some years ago. No, not some years ago, but a couple years ago. But I've showed a lot of people these wheels recently, like pictures and stuff like that, and they actually like the wheels better than the previous wheels that were on it. So it's kind of like a half and half. People online, like social media, have reached out and they're like, oh yeah, dude, like I like the wheels, but the silver wheels are just classic on it. And then people that I've like showed in person, or that have seen the car in person, tend to like these wheels better. So I guess taking a shot in the dark and going with the bronze was what I really needed to do. So the next thing I want to do, I've actually been able to hunt down some Cobra rocker panels or side skirts, so just got to figure out if I want to spend that much or not on it. But it wouldn't be an issue. It would make it look a little better too, because these GT rockers are a little beat up too. But let's go ahead and get in the car. It seemed to have cleared up a little bit on this side, so take that road right there and find us some see if there's a difference between the ST suspension and Eibach bar rear sway bar. At the front is still the GT factory one, like I said. but that issue is just because of the engine itself with the being a Coyote swap. I'm sure they make one out there. So let's just see if there's a real difference. There's probably a subtle difference, maybe a little bit. Other than that, I don't really think so. So let's just go ahead and hop in the car and end this video. At least it sounds decently good. Yeah, these are not the best cars to do that with in the rain. So I'm not gonna really get on it. I don't want some like Mustang week crash to happen. I mean, I've driven it around a little bit before filming, so I can tell that there's been like a subtle difference. The car feels stiffer in the rear. It doesn't kind of, I guess, float as much, if you want to say. Like, the Ascent doesn't float as much or have as much room, because I think this bar is just not like thicker, but a little stiffer in the rear. So that's probably the only real difference. But overall, I mean, if you're looking for, you know, like a decently good product, or, I mean, Eibach's good, you know, they're not decently good, they're good. Sometimes you run into issues with stuff, which isn't a big deal, but, you know, I guess if you want to switch out your factory rear and front sway bars, Steeda or ST suspension or Eibach is some kits you can go with. I definitely recommend Eibach on stuff. They've always been good on, you know, various platforms. So after this light, you can see a little bit, and then I don't know. You're not gonna really be able to tell with something like that slow. You know, you got to be probably cornering this car. So I'll take it out on a dry day and maybe see. But, you know, other than that, guys, I appreciate you stopping by for just like a basic video of nothing else of importance, just another little update and my